Right now on 10 News at 11.
A trolley ride home from school ends with a violent hate crime.
The person began to pummel him in the face, all over the face with closed fists, and started to yell slurs and derogatory language and cursing.
The new wounds scarring one teenager from taking the trolley again.
The guardian angels spreading their wings over Pacific Beach.
It's bad. If we're not going to do something about what's going on in PB, who is going to?
Plus, plans for a new recycling center in the North County are getting major backlash.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Attacked on the trolley, a Syrian teenager living in San Diego says he was heading home from school when a man asked him one question: "Where are you from?" When he answered, he was brutally beaten. Good evening, I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is live, and the teenager says there were witnesses to this crime. Laura?
Kimberly, and he also says that no one stepped in to help him. Now, the group that helped him file a police report is hoping the surveillance cameras at this trolley stop will lead to an arrest. A trolley ride home from school ends in an attack.
Asks, "Where are you from? And are you Mexican?" And to that he responded, "No, I am Arab."
The 17-year-old wants to be anonymous, but shared this picture of his injuries. Speaking on his behalf is the organization who helped him file a police report. After saying he was Arab, the teen says the attack began.
The person began to pummel him in the face, all over the face with closed fists, and started to yell slurs and derogatory language and cursing.
This all happened on the Orange Line between Euclid and the 62nd Street stop. The teen says no one stepped in to help him.
There were a crowd of people, at least 5 people that he remembered seeing just in that area watching. No one intervened, no one said a word.
PANA, the Partnership for Advancement of New Americans, says the teen is a refugee from Syria who came to the U.S. 4 years ago.
We do know that he is not a native English speaker. His English is very limited, and so he was speaking Arabic when he was on the phone with his friend.
The group says police are investigating this as a hate crime and that an officer told them they are looking into getting surveillance from MTS to get a suspect description.
He is very shaken up, still very shaken up. Obviously, he doesn't feel secure in taking the trolley.
And that group is now hoping that one of those witnesses on the trolley at the time of the attack will come forward and help police with their investigation. In Encanto, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
All right, Laura, thank you. This crime comes less than 2 weeks after another potential hate crime in Little Italy. 3 women wearing hijabs say they were attacked by a man making disparaging remarks. There were 76 reported hate crimes in San Diego County last year. That's down from 2017, according to SANDAG. A spokesman for the Center on American Islamic Relations says those figures are often underreported.
They're uniformed citizens looking to clean up the streets. The Guardian Angels plan to start foot patrols in Pacific Beach. And tonight, members of the National Crime Prevention Group met with the community. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura was there, where some raised concern these angels are vigilantes.
Community members raised questions about what the people on patrols will do if they run into trouble out here on the streets, but the group repeatedly said they will take a non-violent approach. At the Pacific Beach Town Council, questions for the group looking to keep their streets safe.
We're trying to make a difference.
Paul McBride heads the newly launched Pacific Beach Guardian Angels chapter. He says there's been a rise in community crime. That's why they've stepped up.
It's bad. If we're not going to do something about what's going on in PB, who is going to?
The Guardian Angels operate in many cities. This is video from our Scripps station in Tampa. They went on a foot patrol with a recently formed group in one of their communities. Guardian Angels wear red berets and uniforms. They have several programs to prevent crime, but the most visible are patrols, which are meant to act as a deterrent. The PB group is currently recruiting and training members. They have yet to hit the streets. They promise to avoid violence. Members are screened, unarmed, but trained in self-defense. That's raised some red flags.
If they were truly hands-off, they wouldn't have to be concerned about martial arts. But it looks like they're ready for action.
McBride is confident the concerns will go away once their operation is up and going.
There are going to be skeptics, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Proof is in the pudding. You'll see when we start doing what we are supposed to be doing.
The group hopes to begin patrols in December. In Pacific Beach, Anthony Pura, 10 News.
All right, we have some breaking news from Tierra Santa, where an elderly woman drove into that Hawaiian restaurant. Our photojournalist Paul Anderegg is live at our 10 News Breaking News Tracker with an update. Paul, what happened here?
This is Tierra Santa Boulevard near Santa Road. You can see here in this little strip mall, the Homestyle Hawaiian. They're just finishing up, cleaning up and boarding up the windows here after that elderly driver drove through the front windows shortly before 8 o'clock tonight. Now, we know that she was not injured, which is good news. No injuries reported inside to any of the customers. It looks like they're going to have some work to do to clean up these windows, but their front door is still open, so they may be open tomorrow. We're going to check back on that, get some more information for you, and bring that to you on 10 News this morning.
Thank you, Paul. The boyfriend of a North County woman found dead in her home was charged with murder today. Earlier this month, Sabrina Lukowski's mother requested a welfare check after not hearing from her daughter for several days. Officers came to the home that she shared with Henry Cohen in Cardiff and noticed a foul odor coming from the residence. They later found Lukowski dead inside.
There was a broken stick, there was a bottle that had been broken, there was some amount of blood, and the victim had a 1.5-inch vertical gash to her forehead.
The medical examiner says she died of strangulation and blunt force trauma. Prosecutors believe Cohen tried to escape the country. He was arrested before he could leave. If convicted, he faces 55 years to life in prison.
And a drug dealer will spend the next 15 years in prison after selling fake opioids that caused the overdose death of a La Jolla man in 2018. In June, Trayvon Lucas pleaded guilty to distribution of fentanyl, resulting in death. The investigation revealed that he was warned twice that the pills he was selling were counterfeit and laced with fentanyl, but he kept selling them. 3 other people are charged with conspiring with Lucas to distribute those pills.
Investigators say today's brush fire in City Heights was set on purpose. Witnesses say they saw teenagers in the canyon just before the fire started after 1 p.m. A quick and aggressive response put the fire out in about 20 minutes, but not before some nearby homes were evacuated.
I was really sleeping good, and then all of a sudden I heard this something in the air, wee wee wee, something like that. When I heard some sirens, and then the police say, you have to get out of the house.
Everyone has since returned to their homes. San Diego Fire and Rescue says the fire burned about an acre with no injuries. No word yet on whether police have arrested anyone for the fire.
All right, in the meantime, investigators are still working to figure out what caused yesterday's brush fire a couple of miles away in Tallmadge. That fire burned about 4 acres, came close to enough to homes to force some evacuations there too. Firefighters were able to stop it before it burned any structures. And the county says it is mailing out personal disaster plans to the communities considered the highest risk for a wildfire. The county says that plan has been redesigned and also covers other emergencies. This Friday, county leaders will discuss the disaster plans at the Office of Emergency Services in Kearney Mesa.
A major road project will improve the traffic in one of San Diego's busiest areas, but the temporary closure will cause a traffic mess. This Saturday at 5 o'clock, Friars Road will shut down from Earlrick to Frizzy near the 163. Caltrans is widening Friars, adding an auxiliary lane to the 163, upgrading the ramps, and improving the sidewalks and bike lanes, among other things. The road will reopen Monday. Caltrans expects this stage of the project to be done in another month.
The temperature is going to start to drop a little bit, and the holiday lights are going to start coming on, and so we want to be out of the way of travelers in this area.
You still can go to the shopping centers while Friar is closed, but there will be a detour. We have the information on 10news.com.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is accusing the president of having a meltdown during a closed-door meeting at the White House. That meeting was about his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from northeast Syria. Those troops left behind their Kurdish allies, whom they'd fought alongside in the battle to defeat ISIS. ABC's Ines de la Cuttara has the new fight in Washington.
Democratic leadership walking out of a bipartisan meeting on the Syrian withdrawal at the White House.
What we witnessed on the part of the president was a meltdown.
The speaker accusing President Trump of having a meltdown.
Yeas are 354.
After the House of Representatives, Democrats and Republicans overwhelmingly voted Wednesday to condemn his decision to pull American troops from the region.
He was shaken up by it. And that's why we couldn't continue in the meeting, because he was just not relating to the reality of it.
Democrats claim the president verbally abused Pelosi.
He was insulting, particularly to the speaker. She kept her cool completely, but he called her a third-rate politician.
The White House firing back, saying Trump was measured during the meeting and that Pelosi walking out was baffling. Trump's decision to pull U.S. troops from Syria cleared the way for a planned Turkish assault on Kurdish forces, who were a key U.S. ally in the fight against ISIS. As fierce fighting breaks out in the region, leaving dozens of Kurdish troops killed and more than 130,000 displaced, President Trump is still doubling down on his decision.
The Kurds know how to fight. And as I said, they're not angels. They're not angels.
Meanwhile, Fox News obtained this letter President Trump sent to Turkey's President Erdogan, asking him to make a good deal and not to slaughter thousands of people, and writing, "Don't be a tough guy, don't be a fool." Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Vice President Pence now heading to Turkey to try and broker a ceasefire, though the Turkish president has said he would never negotiate with the Kurds, who he considers terrorists. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington. Back here at home, the president tweeted support today to House Republicans. Tomorrow, they are expected to force a vote to censure Democrat Adam Schiff over his handling of the impeachment inquiry. And today, the former advisor to the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, appeared before Congress. Meantime, many in the administration are refusing to cooperate, defying congressional subpoenas.
The president will use any delay tactic, any distraction to stop the orderly work that's being done.
Tomorrow, the EU ambassador, who was involved in several text messages about whether Ukraine's military aid was being withheld, is scheduled to testify.